Welcome to the 13th episode of Qapsule,
Let's consume, learn, and excel.
a digital series dedicated to enrich your understanding about quality concepts at Tata Steel. Suppose you are in your teens, and while grooming your beautiful dark hair, you find one grey strand of hair falling down your forehead. What will you do? Grey hair is never desirable, so you will pluck it out. We always tend to avoid what is undesirable or does not meet our requirement. Yes, you guessed it right. Today's topic is non-conformity. Non-conformity, or NC, is defined as non-fulfillment of a requirement. This requirement may be organization's own requirement like vision, business objectives, and strategies, or customer's requirement, like quality of product, services that are to be delivered, or statutory and regulatory requirement, like reducing carbon footprint, water conservation, etc., or requirement pertaining to a standard that the organization needs to follow, like ISO, IATF, and so on. Most standards like ISO 9001, IATF 16949, or IMS mentions about requirements that are indicated using the word shall, which are mandatory, and any deviation would rise to a non-conformity. All other requirements mentioned as should, may, can, are good to have. Non-conformities are generally classified into two types, major and minor. Major NC may include, for example, delays affecting customers' schedule, rework, repeat service calls, or repairs, the rejection of incoming goods or materials, the rejection of a batch of finished product, cost overruns, repeated occurrences of the same minor issue. NC is minor if the problem has an isolated occurrence, or the problem doesn't affect the customer immediately, or if it creates little or no waste, or if the defect can be rectified quickly, easily, and cheaply. For example, major NC can be non-identification of organization risk, non-availability of management of change procedure. On the other hand, if one of the activities in the above procedure is non-conforming, then it may be a minor NC. Another instance may be that all procedures are followed but relevant documental evidence is missing. Then it may be an observation or OFI, which may lead to a future NC, if no action is taken. Common causes of NC may include poor communication between employees, inadequate documented information, inadequate training of personnel, lack of motivation among the workers, inadequate quality of raw materials, or tools and equipments, or inadequate operating conditions. The non-conformities are registered by a certified auditor as statements called NC statements. These are actionable outputs of an audit process and result in providing inputs of corrective action process. Well-written NC statements follow a simple recipe. What is not conforming? Cite the requirement, provide the evidence, and connect the requirement to the evidence with a brief statement of non-conformity. It is important to keep in mind that the statement should be correct and fact-based, clear, concise, and written as complete sentences.
Let's look at an example.
The requirement cited is that the organization shall have a documented process to control and react to the changes that impact product realization, against which an evidence is stated that change management was not followed for a defective product. The NC statement gives us an idea about what is wrong, connecting the requirement with evidence. Identification of non-conformity, documenting the evidence, classification of NC, and specifying the issue is done by the auditor. After the auditor gives the NC, it is the organization's role to come up with corrective actions and preventive actions or CAPA for the stated issue, which after approval of the auditor is implemented. The effectiveness of these actions, thus taken, are again verified by the auditor and ensures the closure of the NC. It is advised to complete this cycle within 30 days of identification, however different standards may have different requirements. This is how NC is typically managed. It is said that a nonconformity inspires fear in many people, but it is simply an opportunity for the management system to improve. Hope this episode has clarified the concept of nonconformity and how it is closed. Like, comment, and share. Stay tuned for the next episode on CAPA.